Well, the auto rickshaw was born in Italy in the 50s, and gradually it came into India, and as you know, it's a vehicle which has transported millions. But time has come when this humble three-wheeler gets a makeover. The Qute is the vehicle which will give it that makeover. Now this is not a car. Bajaj is very sure about it. They are not calling it a car in spite of it having 4 wheels. But it's a quadricycle. Now what is a quadricycle? Well, it's a very complex question which has taken a lot of time and a lot of court cases to fulfill. The first quadricycle to come into India was actually called the Maini Riva. It was a full electric vehicle and was sold in the UK as the G-Wiz, and that G-Wiz was a quadricycle. Quite simply then, it's not a car, it's not a three-wheeler, it's somewhere in between. Taxation is different. Certain states are going to make it cheaper, certain states are going to make it a little more expensive. There's a lot of use of plastic in this vehicle, and the bonnet, the doors are all plastic, and as you can see, it's riveted around here, much like auto rickshaws. But inside this shell is a steel monocoque. Now this car has been built to a budget, and that means features are kept to a bare minimal. Now there's a nice big headlight out here. It looks nice. It's a single piece unit, and you see this air scoop down here. This is a little bit of a party piece for the Qute. This is actually an air intake system which sends air from here into the cabins and it blows into your mouth. Now it's also got a decent sized boot. It opens the other way with a key. Now you have the key, you press the key, and there you go. If I open it like that, you've got a bit of storage space there. It's got decent 12-inch wheels with 4 lug nuts, drum brakes all around, a nice little mud flap out there, mirrors on both sides. That's where the fuel goes in. So now this is a mono fuel vehicle, so that means it is either CNG or petrol, and it will only run on either CNG or petrol. So it doesn't have a dual fuel contraption out here, so that's nice. Very cheap to maintain is what the peg to this vehicle is, and looks quite interesting. You see this little thing out here. Now these are the air scoops, or rather the air vents, which I showed you earlier, and you can tune this also, and it gives a nice little breeze of air when you are going. Next, you've got a nice decent looking speedometer which offers plenty of data. Like you can see, there's a fuel gauge, there's a speedometer, it tells you you're running on CNG, it's got a gear indicator, odo, clock, and the works. So quite a lot of info on this speedometer. Now as you can see, there are these twin glove boxes provided here which are lockable. Now there's another fun bit about this car, which is this little audio system. It's a USB and SD card reader, and although the sound is ludicrous, but it's still there. It still gives you a little bit of music on the go. And right on top sits the gearbox, which is sequential. Yes, it's sequential gear shifting. I'll come to that a little later. And then here is your spare tire. This is the CNG variant I am driving today, and if you have the non-CNG variant, you can up the seat back, and there's a little bit of storage space there as well. At the back, you have decent space for 2 people, and if I fold down those seat backs, it's a 60-40 split. You can also get a nice little loading bay. The Qute is powered by a little 220cc 4-stroke liquid cooled engine, which is mated to a 5-speed gearbox, which is operated via the sequential hand shifter which you saw earlier. Now, much like the Nano, the Qute 2 is a rear engine and rear wheel drive vehicle. So what it means is the engine sits like that. It's a nicely positioned engine, and this is a single cylinder engine, turns at about 13 horsepower, and sounds like a rickshaw engine, I must say. It's a bit noisy for sure, and the more you rev it, the more noisy it gets inside. But if you tend to keep it nice and docile, you will be able to speak to your co-passenger or the one sitting at the back. The motor is pretty smooth, although it's a nice little vibey, chirpy motor, and it gets to speed really quickly, and it's very easy to hit the rev limiter on this one. Qute has been capped to 70 kmph, and that is why it feels very different. The motor has a lot more power to give. It can go faster, but it is a quadricycle, so it cannot go beyond 70 kmph. The steering wheel is also very direct. You know, the turns are very easy. Making a U-turn is so much easier on this car. It's a 7-meter turning circle. The brakes are drums all around, so you just need to plan your braking a bit. But the best thing about the Qute is its fuel efficiency. 35 kmpl is what Bajaj is claiming, and that should keep Indians very, very happy. But overall, if you tell me whether it's better than an auto rickshaw, yep, it is. Expect a price of around 2.5 lakhs for the Qute in the petrol variant, and a slightly more expensive version will be the CNG version.